Hello everyone and welcome back to part 13 of our F124 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we return this weekend here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And quickly before we dive into this one, I just want to apologise to all of you. Obviously, we haven't been doing as much of this series over the last week or so. Of course, co-op has returned. The Williams Road to Glory is back. This channel originally started as kind of like a place for those series on YouTube. So obviously, my team isn't just the only thing that will be going on here, so hopefully you are enjoying those other series as well. Of course, they are in a different format. Co-op will be back tomorrow, but I'm going to continue to try and get at least 3 or 4 episodes out of this series each and every week. And quickly, before we dive into this one, I just want to say as well a massive thank you to all of you for helping us tick over 3,000 subscribers. Of course, the next goal is 4K, so if you aren't already, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel as well then. But yeah, the Hungarian Grand Prix, penultimate round before the summer break. We've had a pretty good run of form in recent races, but obviously we can't do any more upgrades on the car right now because we haven't got enough R&D, so desperately trying to earn as many as we can. You can see we're basically in a battle with Kick Sauber at the bottom of the table as well. But yeah, having a look at the standings, Max Verstappen with a 63-point lead at the top of the table, ahead of George Russell there with the Ferraris in hot pursuit. Red Bull with a 50-point lead over Merc in the Constructors, but Ferrari only another 5 points back. That, I feel, is where the fight is going to be this year.
Welcome to Hungary. Who's got the appetite for success in practice here in Budapest?
Well, heading back out then here at the Hungaroring. Of course, we had a very, very entertaining race last time out at Silverstone. So obviously looking to try and keep that momentum going as we head into the second half of the year, of course. Like we said, we've obviously got this weekend and then Belgium before Formula One's summer break. And then, of course, after that, we've got a big, big string of races that hopefully are going to suit our car quite nicely as well there. So want to just continue earning R&D. You know, we want to be in the fight for best of the back markers by the end of the first season, as that is immediately going to be a purple score. Well, I don't know whether it's placebo or there's something else at play, but it feels like when you run higher tyre pressures, the car wants to move around a lot more in a straight line, rather oddly. It's really trying to fight me when we're going down a straight, which is very, very peculiar and not something I've experienced too much on this game. I mean, look at that. It's just trying to oscillate underneath me. Never really had this too much on this game, but of course I'm very, very conscious about tyre wear around this circuit as we make our way through the final couple of corners, though. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a problem as we make our way through the weekend. What is good, though, we've got another purple score on the board. Or we didn't. I don't quite get how we didn't get the purple score there. It's purple right the way until the end of the lap. But apparently we didn't get anything for that. So, not too sure what we're going to make of it. I guess we'll head into qualifying.
It is time for the drivers to dance on the edge. You are never resting, you are never still in qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix right here at the Hungaroring.
I've made a couple of small tweaks to the car then. Looks like we could see changeable conditions as we move into the Grand Prix. So we want to make sure that we got a car that is very, very raceable no matter what the weather is going to do. But as we try and start our first qualifying lap then, let's see what we can do. How bad are the oscillations going to be? I've also tried to fix that. Much better than they were, is all I can say there. So hopefully we've got that sorted. There definitely seems to be a lot of jankiness still in this game. It's the only way I can probably describe it.
P18.
Yeah, through there as well now seems a whole lot better. So hopefully that's something we can put behind us. Obviously, we only get the 2 runs in qualifying here. And I have completely forgot as well that I'm not allowed to use overtake mode. So, well done, Matt. Well, despite the fact we used all that overtake mode, our qualifying effort still isn't looking that great as we round our way through the final couple of corners. Our first lap here in anger as Lando Norris dips under the 1 minute 15s. We are going to be nowhere near that. Come on out of the final turn, get the power down. It is going to be a 16.6, and we go P21. And with less than a minute on the clock, Awasa's now gone quicker than me. We are less than 100th apart in all 3 sectors. But he's had the better of me so far then in qualifying. What are we going to be able to do on our last ditch run? Again, I'm going to remember not to use the overtake mode this time. To keep it fair, if Awasa out-qualifies me, then Awasa out-qualifies me there. But I don't think where we use the overtake gave us much of a help, to be honest. So, hoping we can try and at least better my previous time. We're not far away from the Saubers as well. And Logan Sargent, of course, never known for his one-lap performances. Oh, as we try and tip the car through turn 4, they're using that exit curb. FIA will let us get away with it this time. Verstappen lowers the fastest time so far of the weekend to a 1:14.8. Absolutely tremendous lap time by our current world champion and championship leader. 3/10 up those who make our way into Sector 3. So we've definitely found a bit more confidence in the car. Zhou goes clear of his teammate as well. So Awassa's still a couple of tenths away from the rest of the drivers, but clearly he's getting better and better against those two kick Saubers through the final corner, though. 4/10 improvement for us. Is that going to put us quicker than Zhou? It does go quicker than our teammate and those Sauber cars. As qualifying sessions go, 5 cars covered by less than 2/10 is pretty impressive, even here at the Hungaroring. But it is Verstappen that will lead home a Red Bull 1-2 at the end of qualifying. McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari all seem to be in the mix, though, as Kevin Magnussen best of the backmarkers. The best way I can describe us at the moment is us and Kick Sauber are a bit like Manor and Caterham once HRT had gone. We're battling at the back, and unfortunately now there's no one that is guaranteed to be slower than us.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of Formula One action. It's tight, it's technical. Some drivers love it, some drivers find it a challenge. Either way, there's been so much drama in the last couple of years at the Hungarian Grand Prix. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights to comprise a lap here, with an average speed around 120 miles an hour, and the final corner, a favourite of Esteban Ocon, given that he exited it and won his first Grand Prix here. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Magnussen, Gasly, Ocon, Tsunoda, Albon, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Hülkenberg, Sargent, Mr. Monaco, Zhou, Bottas, and Ayumu Iwasa. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
I know you're gutted to be starting from here, but just focus on putting that and some other cars behind you. Good luck.
Well, here we are then, trackside for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and yeah, you know, P19, there were a few drivers with grid penalties, but none of them were able to bump us up the order. Like I said, though, rain is anticipated a little bit later on in the afternoon, so we're going to hold out for that. We're just going to gamble it. We're going to go hard tyres and then pray that we can get them to that wet period. So even if we lose a couple of places off the start, we just want to try and stay in a train and see what we can do here today. It's a big gamble. Hungary is not a track I'm particularly strong at. It's one of my least favourite to drive on the F1 calendar, up there with Spain, and we very rarely score points at either of these venues. But as we wait on the grid then for those 5 red lights here in Hungary, it is going to be lights out and away we go. There's look at Logan Sargent getting a good start straight down the middle of Oscar Piastri and Nico Hülkenberg. The McLaren driver's not got off too well, so we make our way down in towards turn 1, try to avoid all the bumps. We go into the back of Ricciardo, but somehow it wasn't any damage there. We do get a warning for it, as Hülkenberg clearly doesn't want to give me anything on the outside off of that first turn. And clearly what it is that oscillation I mentioned in qualifying, I think is actually due to heavy fuel now, weighing the car down. So we are really bottoming out over the bumps there. As Zhou Guan Yu tried to have a look, we've got to go on a fight back here against Bottas up to turn 4. Or not, apparently. Bottas, they're sailing around our outside. But yeah, the car really wants to move around underneath me, which is not reassuring at the start of a race like this. As Hülkenberg tries to have a look down the inside of Sargent. We get a little bit caught out by the Constantina and up as Hülkenberg's done it. What a move that is then. So Sargent, after a lightning getaway, has gained absolutely nothing on lap 1. Sergio Perez then, the driver leading the way at the end of the first lap there. Russell seems to have gone with him. Verstappen must have had a disaster though, dropping down to P3.
Enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Well, Max Verstappen hasn't been as dominant in this series as he was during Season 1 of our driver career mode. But yeah, still likely going to take the crown this year. Would be nice, though, to see, you know, someone like George Russell, for example, giving him a run for his money.
We think we might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
Well, I'm hoping that rain is a little bit further away. I'd like it to sort of be about 20-25 minutes out, hoping that all of the medium compound runners have to box before then. And when I say all the medium compound runners, I think I mean basically everyone that isn't myself in this GP. For now, though, we've just got to try and settle in, make sure we stay in the range of Bottas.
Just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Well, if it keeps rolling in this quickly, it's going to be here before the end of this lap. Well, unfortunately, yeah, we've now lost the DRS to Bottas in this Grand Prix. We're desperately just trying to keep Zhou Guanyu at bay, mainly because I don't want to lose time fighting with him here. But, I mean, yeah, this track is so physically demanding, and that seems to be mainly due to the fact that I've got to try and keep the car pointing in the right direction down that start-finish straight there, as we are going to start tripping over with Zhou Guanyu. I think if he gets past me next time, I'll let him by. But the heavens are starting to get darker. Come on then, here comes Zhou Guanyu.
2.8 seconds.
And he'll get another run on me. And again, he won't be able to do anything with it. Zhou Guanyu, I think the medium tyres are just starting to struggle a little bit. We certainly don't have an advantage yet, but I think our disadvantage is getting less and less. Oh no, there's the rain. Oh, that is way earlier than I was hoping.
2.3 seconds.
We're still closing in a little bit of time on Bottas at the moment, but this rain is meant to roll in very, very quickly, and that does not suit us. So there we go, Esteban Ocon into the pit lane. Certainly hasn't made the switch to Inters that early.
6.6 seconds.
Ocon, yeah, winner here a few years ago. This weekend, I think he's going to end up last. Problem we've got as well at a track like the Hungaroring is that where it's so difficult to overtake, you don't really want to box when everybody else does. You kind of want to either go for an under or an overcut, depending on what's happening. I don't think we're a million miles away from the switch, but yeah, we're still a little way behind the AI. You know, if we could kind of get back to the, you know, the tail of that train, which is already spreading out as I speak, then I would be kind of feeling more confident about going aggressive. We just got to keep the car on the island, though, at the moment. This circuit is getting slippery. And I don't know if it's a combination of tyres or general wear or just the track itself. But Bottas now is definitely struggling. Same can be said for Sargent. I think the same can be said for most of the AI. It used to be a weird glitch in F1 2016 where the hard tyres were better in the rain.
0.1 seconds.
I don't know whether it's the same case inside F1 24, but at the moment, yeah, we've got some pace. Although I reckon, yeah, it might be this lap is time to box. Well, Daniel Ricciardo just had a big lock-up down in towards the final couple of corners, so I think we're going to take the gamble. We're going to dive into the pit lane at the end of lap 13. It might be slightly earlier than I'd want to here. But of course, we've done pretty well with this kind of thing before. Remember back to Canada, we made the call there and it worked out really nicely for me. So, yeah, I wonder if the AI just trying to go to their normal box lap and then might move to the intermediates, but we've kind of got to go for it. See if we can switch them.
Problem removing the left front wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though and finish the race strong.
That is an absolutely terrible pit stop though, was how do the tyres feel.
We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
You know what? They don't feel bad. We'll monitor the gaps to Iwasa and Ocon, and we'll see if we can start closing in. And immediately, look at the gap already in one sector has come down 2 seconds to Ayumu. I think once again we have nailed the call here. But DRS still not being disabled. All of our front runners are staying out there, so we have now got a huge opportunity to try and undercut. I mean, if I was the team, I'd be screaming at Ayumu, get into that pit lane right now, box onto Inters, do it. But of course, it's still such a shame that they haven't added team orders and things like that to this game. There's no one else, though, willing to pit just yet, as Ocon's already overtaken Zhou, so he's actually doing really well on his fresher set of tyres. So I think it's a combination of wear and lack of grip. But yeah, we went 6 seconds quicker than Iwasa that lap.
It's been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
That'll now be the AI pitting in then, although it's still not looking... I mean, there's no spray being kicked up still. It's very, very odd here. Let's try to put the power down. We'll try and get around our teammate without too many problems. I mean, we should be able to get clean around him up at turn 4.
12.5 seconds.
Maybe slightly optimistic on the way in, but we're through. And now if you have a look at the minimap, we're starting to see a few AI in. Don't think they're all going to be boxing now, but I mean, this was basically when they needed to pit anyway in this Grand Prix. But I think now the DRS has been disabled, a lot more of them realizing, yeah, it is actually time to make the call. I've never seen a track, though, in this game take so long to kind of, I mean, it's quite difficult to work out where the wet line is, but as we round our way through the final couple of turns, we've basically already made up a pit stop on Iwasa in just the space of a couple of laps, so hopefully we're going to get the jump on a few more drivers there as through the final corner we'll go. Roll on that throttle nicely there. We've got one of the Aston Martins, one of the Ferraris making their way back out.
Stop.
And we are going to be ahead of Fernando Alonso then in this Grand Prix, so critical for us, but we're still behind Kevin Magnussen. Or maybe we could see a switch to the full wet tyres then at some point. Rain getting worse and worse. But I think pretty much everyone boxed that lap. So I'm not sure we got many more that we can undercut to try and move ourselves into the points. Oh, look at this. Logan Sargent, he was still limping around. So Sargent is finally going to dive in. He's backed up Stroll, though, into our clutches. Magnussen might as well try and look for a move there. I think one of the Mercs and the other Ferrari car both hadn't pit yet. There is George Russell. So we are already up into the points, but it's not going to stop us trying to go for another one. He's on cold tyres. He has no idea what the grip levels are looking like yet. Round the outside of the Mercedes. We're going to have the inside as we make our way down in towards turn 2. Almost banging wheels with George Russell there. But are we going to be able to switch him on the exit of the corner? No, we're not. And right when Russell is his most vulnerable, we can't capitalise. Half distance then. We still have not got an easy time of it to the end of this Grand Prix. Alonso is absolutely hounding me. I'd love to score a point here. Add another one to the team's tally. But yeah, it's not going to be easy. You got Russell now having a look down the inside of Kevin Magnussen just a little bit further up. Maybe if these two slow each other down, we can try and get a little bit closer there as Magnussen don't want to give up on it. Has he got the straight line speed? Yes, he has. Magnussen will try and defend there, but Russell has the grip round the outside. Clean through he'll go. And yeah, maybe we can try and match the Haas, but we are on a slower car, and we're on older tyres. If you guys remember back in Australia, we saw the AI there struggle to look after their inters. Maybe we'll see the same today. Maybe I'm just living on a little bit of hopium as well, but we're not dropping back too much from Magnussen. Alonso, as long as we use the battery out of the final corner, he can't really get close to me, so I guess the best way to describe it is we are defending like a lion. But yellows, I think Iwasa's gone. I think Iwasa might have gone for a spin. Safety car now wouldn't be too bad for us, I'll be honest. But I think he's going to get the car going. Oh, Russell is on a charge. He's now made the move on Lance Stroll, so going to be interested to see what Stroll's pace is like in that Aston Martin. I'm monitoring the gap to Magnussen. It is coming down, but it is coming down by like a tenth a lap. So we've got the pace to hang on in here, but getting to him is one thing, getting round him is another, and I still don't know whether we might see a switch to full wets. I might have mentioned how the AI might struggle with their tyres towards the end. Certainly doesn't mean we're going to be any safer. We might have to pit here again before the end of this GP. We've been on these tyres, what, less than 10 laps, so we've got 12 to go. I think we're either going to have to start nursing or start preparing the pit crew. We've got yellows. We've got yellows. I think that's one of our top 3. One of the Ferraris maybe breaking down here. I would assume that's Charles Leclerc, but I could be completely wrong. It is Charles Leclerc out of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
Well, I'll be honest, I would have loved to have seen a full safety car.
Penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Could have been really useful for us, but if it stays out until we get back round to the pit lane, we are going to use it to try and box.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Okay.
Well, that might be one of the shortest VSCs I've ever seen.
Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are so far no plans for a safety car.
what I want to know is how do we lose nearly a second to Magnussen because of it? Well, I guess we've got a really difficult choice to make here at the moment. I think we're going to have to box again before this race is down and out. I just don't see a way in which we keep these tyres in good nick right the way to the checkered flag. But of course, if we're going to have to do that, the AI might have to do the same. And they might want to try and take these tyres a bit longer and then really hang on to them towards the end. So we've got to try and claim the advantage once again, if we possibly can, in for a second set of the intermediate tyres. Yeah, we're going to drop right the way back down to the rear of the field. It's a big gamble. We've got 10 laps to go of this Grand Prix. We have sacrificed our points-paying position, but, like I said, if the AI are going to struggle, then we've got to go for it.
That's it, go, go, go! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Well, we are back down to P20 as we come out right behind Zhou and Sargent having a battle. It might have been worth gambling over to a set of full wets, but I don't think we're there. I mean, now we're basically going to have one eye on the pit lane for the rest of the afternoon, aren't we? See if anyone else pits. The other Ferrari's gone.
Kicking up a lot of spray at this point. I doubt we're quite ready for the full wet, but we're not far off.
I was so close then to going straight through the back of Logan Sargent.
Car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your dash. Right,
No idea what all that stuttering is.
due to a build-up of stopped cars on the track. Watch your pace.
I think, yeah, if we can get into that pit lane, though, I reckon it's time for the full wets. We might have pit one lap early and taken the tyres the wrong way, but if we get an advantage, we've got to take it here. Really, really difficult towards the end of the afternoon. It's been such an unpredictable Grand Prix, and we are making a couple of big strategy calls at the moment. They might work out, they might not. Red flag, no! Oh, dearie me. Why didn't they call that earlier? Safety car? Virtual safety car, red flag. What's going on? I have never seen anything like that. It said a virtual safety car, then a red flag, then went back to a virtual safety car, but we have had a red flag here.
Get a nice advantage here. Let's have a think about how we handle the rest of this race.
Dearie me, so we absolutely pit then at the wrong point of this Grand Prix. We have got, what, 7 laps to go here. We're all on intermediates.
Let's make the best.
No, we're not. They're all on wets. Why? How? Why is that a thing? 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out and away we go. I mean, this might give us advantage, it might give us a disadvantage. It certainly is bad off the start.
Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
I mean, this is just pure F1. Damn it. Damn it. I needed a second there to really think and to hold my tongue, to be completely honest. But front wing damage now as well as all of the AI. I mean, it's surely not full wet conditions, is it? Surely they're not going to have an advantage.
With the RS modes in your MFD if you need to.
Way too optimistic, though. Back down in towards turn 1. Zhou Guanyu slowing down way more than I'd ever anticipated. And, well, despite the front wing damage, I think we've still got some pace over the AI. Oh, we just cannot go out on the wet line. That's the thing I've got to remember here. We've got to stay on the dry line. Otherwise, we are just going to understeer. Thank you, Owasa, I guess. I mean, I'd take another red flag before the end of this, get the wing changed for free, but I don't think that's going to happen. I said it before, and I'll say it again. The dry line on a wet track on this game does work really well. I think that is one of the things that has been an absolutely fantastic addition to F1 24. But yeah, unless we see the AI make the switch back to the intermediate before the end, I think this race might have completely escaped us. Come on, 3 laps to go. We've definitely got the advantage despite losing half the wing. Oh, down the inside of Sargent. Get it stopped. Find some dry stuff. We've done it.
Good work. Great pass.
That was a Daniel Ricciardo-esque dive bomb here, but we're going to need to make a lot more moves before the end if we want to take some points. I cannot believe how screwed over we got with that second pit stop. I mean, I can see all of the wet runners now really starting to struggle on their tyres, but of course there's no point in any of them pitting before this race is down and out. I can see one of the V-Carbs is having an absolutely sensational day of it, and I'm sure Bottas could see a lot of my car in his mirrors. Well, if the AI don't pit now, they aren't going to pit, and say, unless the track suddenly dries up, I don't think we're going to be able to carve our way through. We might be able to get Bottas, as I think that might be Verstappen starting the final lap of the Grand Prix. You can see how much those Saubers are struggling. Valtteri Bottas, though, ended up getting jumped by his teammate Zhou Guanyu off of that restart. So, yeah, Zhou Guanyu's been able to capitalise on that as best as possible. One more lap to go, though, here from what has been a crazy Hungarian Grand Prix, as we're going to lock up all four wheels. Get it stopped down the inside of Bottas. He's going to see it, though, and try and switch me off of the corner. They're still out on the damp stuff. Are we going to be able to find some grip? Bottas finds even more around the outside. Come on, we can't back out of it. We've got to try and go for it. Final lap round the outside. Bottas! What is that? What is that by the AI? Bottas there just winning to absolutely fling me off the venue. The AI do a weird thing where when they're on the inside, sometimes they'll commit to their normal line in the hopes that you can't maintain the grip around the outside of them. Of course, in that situation, I've got way more grip than the flying Finn, so I am able to hang it there. And they basically just barge you off the road, Max Verstappen style, but that's the state of F1 IRL anyway, so I guess we're going to commend Bottas's realism in that moment. Not that I'd ever see the flying Finn defending that aggressively. Through the final couple of corners, though, of the Hungarian Grand Prix, Red Bull are going to be back on top once again. Which driver is it going to be? It is Max Verstappen. It's going to take the win and extend his lead at the top of the championship there. Can we get closer to Bottas to do anything through these final couple of corners? We're going to absolutely launch it in, but not going to be able to do anything there. And with a race with so much promise, it is only going to be P18.
It's victory in Budapest then, and what a victory it is after an incredible Grand Prix.
There was never a moment of doubt today. You could tell that they completely had it under control, and that is a sign of greatness.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Well, Max Verstappen then able to head up a Red Bull 1-2 come the end of the afternoon there. Sergio Perez, one of his best results of the year, actually, with that second place, beating out Russell, Hamilton and Lando Norris there. Tsunoda and Gasly, as well as Magnussen, all scoring points for some of our rival backmarker teams. We'll have to take a look as to what that does in the championship as well. But P18 for us, from 19th on the grid, you think it was a fairly normal race? We absolutely could have scored points, though, well and truly screwed over when we tried to dive into the pit lane before that red flag came out as well there. But yeah, Ferrari, the only team not to get a car to the finish, and they couldn't get either of their cars to the checkered flag there, so a disaster for them. That means as we take a look at the championship standings, Verstappen now with a 73-point lead over Russell, who extends the gap over Charles Leclerc, Hamilton and Checo Perez. He'll get the jump on Carlos Sainz, as we are just still 9 points back from Oscar Piastri there in P10. Zhou Guanyu still the best of the other backmarkers, ahead of Stroll, but only 1 point in it now, as it is just Hulkenberg and Iwasa who are yet to score this season. The gap at the top opens up to 66 points as well. Mercedes get a bit of breathing room from Ferrari behind them. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the Belgian Grand Prix.